All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at something I find absolutely fascinating, the secret of 5 a.m. More specifically, we're going to break down one single specific morning habit that completely transformed a man's life. We're talking about a real rags to riches case study here, one that reveals the exact system that took someone from total poverty to professional success in just 90 days. It's an incredible look at the mechanics of time, discipline, and how to actually build a rock-solid foundation for your future.
So, meet Thomas. He was a 32-year-old guy working as a night shift security guard at a huge warehouse, and he was living in severe poverty. We're talking a tiny one-room apartment, a broken fan, sleeping on a mattress on the floor under a flickering light bulb. Every single dawn, during his 4-mile walk home, he'd watch the rest of his town waking up. He'd see families eating breakfast together, people in clean shirts heading off to office jobs. And deeply exhausted just staring through those windows, he would constantly ask himself this incredibly painful question: will this be my life forever? Part 1. The Night Shift Trap. Living Life Backwards.
Now, you've got to understand, Thomas was not lazy. Not at all. He was a really hard worker. But he was caught in this brutal, grueling cycle, where he was literally living his life backwards. I mean, think about it. While he was crashing into bed at 7 a.m. and sleeping until 4 p.m., the rest of the normal world was awake. They were moving forward, actively building their dreams. Opportunity was happening all around him, but he was only awake just to survive. Which brings us to part 2, a life-changing encounter. Meeting the mentor. Well, everything changed for Thomas one freezing cold November morning. He got a devastating phone call that his mother had actually collapsed from extreme stress and exhaustion. So he's rushing back from the clinic on this early morning bus, and he happens to sit right across from a highly successful local businessman named Mr. Chun. It was 6 a.m., and when Thomas asked him, why a wealthy guy was riding the regular early bus, Mr. Chun said something that completely shattered Thomas's perspective. He explained that successful people use the quiet dawn to read, to think, and to plan. They're awake while the rest of the world is dreaming. Part 3. The Magic Foundation Hours. The Math of Time. So Mr. Chun essentially challenges Thomas right there to shift his whole perspective. He introduces him to what he calls the magic hours, that totally uninterrupted time between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. And to prove his point, Mr. Chun does some quick napkin math and drops this massive number on him, 7:30. If you dedicate just 2 hours a morning to yourself, that equals 14 hours a week, 60 hours a month, and exactly 730 hours a year. Chun explained it like building a house. Thomas's life was falling apart because he was just too busy surviving to ever actually work on his foundation. Let's put that math into perspective, because it is staggering. Those 730 hours, that translates to 91 full 8-hour workdays. So doing this effectively gives you 3 entire extra months a year to build your foundation, while everyone else is literally wasting that time asleep. I mean, just imagine having a 3-month head start on the rest of the world every single year. It's a total game changer. Moving on to part 4, the 90-day success system, the blueprint for change. You see, Mr. Chun didn't just give Thomas a motivational pep talk. He gave him a strict, non-negotiable morning system. Step 1, from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., you strictly build skills. You focus on learning something that will change your financial situation. Maybe it's a new language or just grinding through free YouTube tutorials to master Excel. Then, step 2, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., you build your body and your mind. Your body is your vehicle, right? So that means 30 minutes of physical exercise followed by reading and planning out your day. But to make this actually work, Chun laid out 3 rigid rules. Rule 1, no negotiation. You wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. Yes, even on weekends. Rule 2, you must be asleep by 9 p.m. You absolutely cannot cheat sleep and expect to succeed. And rule 3, and he was very upfront about this, the first week is going to be absolute hell. Your body is going to hate it, your brain will beg you to hit snooze, but if you can just push through, by day 21 it starts feeling normal, and by day 90 it literally becomes your identity. Part 5, 3 months to transformation, from pain to promotion. So, deeply motivated by his mother's health scare, Thomas accepts the challenge. And watching his progression over the next 3 months is just amazing. Week 1 was exactly as promised, pure agony. He was dragging himself out of bed, staring at free Excel tutorials with burning eyes in the pitch black. But he didn't quit. By day 21, his body had adapted. He was waking up naturally at 4:58 a.m. By month 2, he had knocked out 3 online certificates. And the massive payoff? On day 87, after using his new skills to build an inventory system for his warehouse, he was offered a daytime office job, completely doubling his salary. Fast forward 1 year. Thomas didn't just stop because he landed a comfy job. Nope, he kept going and became the company's lead accountant. He saved up enough to move his mom into a really comfortable 2-bedroom apartment in town with proper medical care. And you know what? He still woke up at 5 a.m. every single day. It wasn't just a strategy to get a job anymore, it was who he was. Those 2 hours became his sacred time to master new software and read business books.
Part 6. Your 5 a.m. challenge. Winning the morning.
Okay, I want to pivot away from Thomas for a second and ask about you. How are you using your mornings? Between 5 and 7 a.m., the world is totally quiet, and your willpower is at its absolute peak. So here is the exact same challenge Mr. Chan issued, broken down for you to start tomorrow. First, set your alarm for exactly 5 a.m. tonight. Not 5:15, not 5:30, 5 a.m. sharp. Second, put your phone across the room so you physically have to stand up to turn it off. Third, pick one specific skill to build in that first hour and commit to it for 90 days. And finally, protect your 9 p.m. bedtime. Cut the endless doom scrolling. Wasted late-night hours are the enemy of your success.
Because here's the thing Thomas ultimately realized. When his coworkers would ask him why he still woke up so early even after he made it, he'd tell them, success is not a destination. It is a daily practice. The gap between where you are right now and where you want to be, it isn't about luck. It's not about natural talent. It's simply the daily practice of showing up for yourself when it's hard and building your foundation 2 hours at a time. And honestly, you have way more advantages right now than Thomas had when he started. You have the internet, endless free education, and opportunity everywhere. So I want to leave you with this final thought to kick off your own 90-day transformation. Your future self is waiting for you on the exact other side of that alarm clock. Do not make them wait another day. The question is, will you be awake tomorrow at 5 a.m.?